What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and we're back with Chaos Theories. This is the Sunday version, and this is one I've been waiting to do for a while. We're going to do the JFK assassination.
Big topic.
Big topic. You know, this might not actually be a conspiracy theory, but there's a conspiracy theory built around it. Everybody knows JFK was assassinated. That part is set in stone. The motherfucker's head got flattened like a pancake at IHOP. But there was no Russian waitress here to scoop it on up and put it with a side of eggs.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I went there.
It's okay. You went there. I mean, we've all seen the chunk of his head flying towards the back of the car there.
Dude, that new HD footage of it, dude. If you guys never seen the HD footage of the, what's it called, the Zapruder film?
The Zapruder film, right?
Zapruder film, yeah.
That's the popular film that everyone's seen. If you've seen the movie JFK, that's based around that. So I found this sort of slowed down, high definition version of the Zapruder film. The critical part where he's getting shot, and it's pretty rough, man. I mean, you see this thing come apart. It's right there in front of your face. It's pretty crazy, but. Yeah, so Wings and I are talking about this. It's a pretty big topic. There's a lot to talk about. So what we thought we would do is make this a two-parter, because there's really two pieces to this conspiracy. A is, what's the motivation behind it? Like, why would they want to off him, whoever that may be? And then second, there's so much debate about the actual assassination, who was involved, whether the Warren Commission was correct. So for part one here, we're going to talk about the motivations for it. So what do you think, Wings? Do you have any guesses as to why people would want to off Kennedy?
The Illuminati.
I know. Yeah, you had to say that, because the comments section for every single Chaos Theory video we've done has been 100 people asking for the Illuminati?
Yeah, people want the Illuminati.
Yeah. What do you think we should give it to them? What do you think?
We'll get there. Illuminati is a big topic. I
know. That might have to be like a 4 or 5 chapter.
That has to be a two weekends worth of at least.
I know. But
there's always that theory, and this is why we're Chaos Theories, that he did the speech right before he got shot, and he said something about the secret powers. I don't have it right in front of me, but he says something in the context of he is not going to basically listen to secret powers. He's not going to take under the table bribes. He's going to be the president for the people, by the people, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden his brains is sitting in the back of a Lincoln Town car.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think anybody who's got a proper brain on their head knows that there's people who are pulling the strings behind the scenes. And in the case of President Kennedy, there was a very serious development going on in a country called Vietnam that there was a lot of money riding on. There was a lot of plans to do a lot of things there. And the big reasoning behind why would anybody want to kill Kennedy was in large part revolved around his willingness to turn Vietnam into what it would eventually become after he was gotten rid of, after he died. Vietnam obviously became a gigantic part of U.S. history. The economy, a lot of dollars were involved in this thing. So a lot of people think that, this was obviously an inside job, and it really stemmed from the military, big generals.
Here's the thing with Vietnam. I don't know how other people seen it. Obviously, there's more in line, there's history and all this thing, but I seen Vietnam more as like the Cold War was right there, and we wanted to test our military power, and I felt like Vietnam was the stage that we used it in.
Yeah, totally. But you also have to look at this, right? What is one thing that President Kennedy is known for?
The Bay of Pigs.
Yes, right. So if you ask me, President Kennedy had the biggest balls of any president.
He stared nukes right down the face.
Yeah, any president since George Washington. I mean, because that guy was a badass too. But I mean, John F. Kennedy basically looked the Russians right in their face and said, "Fucking bring it. You want it? We got it." And he stood them off. So if you look at it from that perspective, as we need to prove to the Russians that what we're capable of, I think Kennedy did that without firing a single shot with the Bay of Pigs. he showed them the kind of resolve that just backed them down. I mean, he was ready to all out thermonuclear war, and he made them turn their fucking boats around and go back. So I think it's more driven by the economics of a war than, say them wanting to show up the Russians.
Yeah, but at the same effect, who really wants a thermonuclear war?
Nobody, but the Russians had no choice. I mean, he pretty much told them, look, if you cross this line, if you bring those boats, because, what was happening was, the Russians sent a bunch of ships that were going to go to Cuba. And Kennedy basically told them, look, if your ships cross this line, we are going to retaliate in full. So he didn't threaten them with nuclear war, but he basically told them, like, you need to turn your shit around or shit's going to get real.
So it basically had the Russians right there ready to fucking fuck his shit up.
Yeah, he called their bluff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a hard bluff to call, too. Like, somebody's going to be butthurt, especially people in high power that never been told no before.
Well, yeah, I mean, the world came close to being over at that moment. But Kennedy, I mean, how many presidents could have done that? I mean,
Obama couldn't.
No,
I don't think Romney could either.
Hell no. No modern president.
Well, just imagine we had Romney in the White House when that happens.
Oh, I know. He would have, yeah, he would have had, like, today he would have said yes, tomorrow he would have said no. But anyway, that's a whole different another thing. But you know what I mean? I mean, Kennedy stood him up right in his face and was ready to, he just gambled the whole world against, look, we need to put these guys in their place. So again, I have to say that if there was a motivation within the government to get rid of Kennedy, it was because of the money that they smelled in Vietnam. And Kennedy didn't really want to turn it into what they wanted to turn it into and what they would end up turning it into. And so, sort of an inside job.
You're talking about the flower child stuff?
Well, no, just the involvement in Vietnam. I mean, the whole cover up that it was, oh, well, if we don't stop Vietnam, then communism is going to spread around the world like wildfire. I mean, that doesn't stand up to me. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, wars are usually generated to make people rich and to spend money, and keep an economy moving. And, of course, Kennedy got involved in Vietnam for the right reasons, but I don't think he was interested in committing America the way that we ended up committing after he was gone.
I'm kind of fuzzy on my JFK. Oswald, what did he say he killed Kennedy because?
Why did Oswald say that he assassinated Kennedy?
Correct.
Well, I believe I think he was a patsy, but I believe, and of course the comment section is going to tell us after the fact what's right, but I believe it had to do with, his stance on communism. I think that he was somehow painted as a communist after the fact, and he had ties to the Russians. Something like that.
So basically, he basically stood up to the Russians and said, go to fuck home, and he got branded a communist because of that?
No, I think that Oswald was pro-communist.
Oswald was Marine, though, right?
Well, he was, yeah, at one time he was, yeah. Yeah. But, that's something that, like I said, I'm sure the comment section will correct us on. Maybe we can research that for part 2 when we start talking about what actually happened.
I think we might have more than one part 2.
Yeah, right, I know. Maybe it's going to be like 3 or 4 parts, but, but think about it. For this to come from within, it would have to come from, like you're saying, the people who are pulling the strings in the background. And a lot of the people who pull the strings in the background are really connected with the military.
I just find it odd that he had a motorcade that was basically a drop top.
Yeah.
Around all these buildings. And like I said, some people say there was 3 shots. If there were 3 shots, more people would react. Because how fast can you get 3 shots off with a bolt-action rifle? 4, 5 seconds? 6 seconds?
That's a lot of the debate is, whether he could have actually pulled it off in the time. And, the Warren Commission ended up saying that he can, but there's a hell of a lot of people who say that there's no way he could have tracked a moving target and gotten those. I mean, this bolt-action rifle, like saying this isn't Call of Duty.
This is a Sears bolt-action rifle, too. It's not no top-of-the-line one.
Yeah, well, there's even dispute on what kind of rifle he used, but yeah, I mean, but I think that it's also know, you're saying the motorcade, obviously, you know, it was pretty easy to shoot him. It was like shooting a fish in a barrel there, but I'm pretty sure that was kind of standard thing to do back then, you know. I think after he died when...
he wasn't the first president to be assassinated.
No, but he was the first president to be assassinated in a long fucking time, certainly since they were riding around in cars and shit. So I think it was after he got, you know, killed that the security really sort of got beefed up and they started to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't, you know, drive these guys through huge crowded cities without a little bit better protection. I mean, shit, even afterward. I mean, look at Reagan and his assassination attempt. I mean, he got lucky.
All right, guys, that's probably going to be part 1 right there. But I'm going to leave you on this note before we go into part 2. Look at the Zapruder film and look at the cops and everybody around them. None of them react to 3 different high-powered rifle shots. And tell me what you think in the comment section. It's been your boy, Wings of Redemption, and we're Audi 5000. Peace, pimps.